Join me as I dive into the unknown and try to figure out what would really happen if I got stuck on Mars. The idea of being stranded on the red planet is a fascinating yet terrifying concept that has captured the imagination of space enthusiasts and scientists alike. Human exploration of Mars has been a topic of interest for decades, with numerous robotic missions already exploring the Martian surface. The possibility of sending humans to Mars in the near future has sparked a mix of excitement and fear, as we consider the challenges and risks involved in such a venture. Limited resources would be one of the main challenges if you were stuck on Mars. The planet's harsh environment and lack of infrastructure would make it difficult to access basic necessities like food, water, and shelter. Your survival would depend on the resources you had available to you at the time of the stranding, such as the equipment and supplies you brought with you on the mission. You would have to ration your food and water carefully, making sure they lasted as long as possible. The psychological effects of isolation would also start to take hold, as the reality of your situation sets in and you begin to feel the weight of being alone on a hostile planet. The Martian environment is unforgiving, with temperatures often dropping to -125 degrees Celsius at night and rising to 20 degrees Celsius during the day. The atmosphere is also very thin, which means there's little to no protection from the sun's radiation or extreme weather conditions like dust storms. You would need to find a way to protect yourself from these elements, perhaps by using your spacecraft or habitat as a shield. The lack of a strong magnetic field on Mars also means you'd be exposed to harmful radiation from the sun in deep space, which could have serious health implications over time. In addition to the physical challenges, being stuck on Mars would also take a toll on your mental health. The isolation and confinement could lead to feelings of loneliness, anxiety, and depression. You would need to find ways to stay occupied and engaged, perhaps by maintaining a routine, exercising regularly, or pursuing hobbies and interests. Staying connected with Earth through communication would also be crucial, not just for practical reasons like receiving supplies or assistance, but also for emotional support and a sense of connection to the rest of humanity. Your chances of survival would depend on your ability to adapt to the Martian environment and make the most of the resources available to you. You would need to be resourceful and innovative, using your skills and knowledge to overcome the challenges you face. This might involve finding ways to grow your own food, harvest water from the Martian soil, or use local materials to construct shelter. You would also need to stay focused and motivated, setting goals for yourself and working towards them, even in the face of overwhelming adversity. Using technology would be crucial to your survival on Mars. You could use equipment like 3D printers or fabrication tools to create essential items, such as spare parts, tools, or even medical supplies. Solar panels or nuclear reactors could provide a reliable source of energy, while systems for recycling air and water would help conserve precious resources. Communication equipment would also be vital, allowing you to stay in touch with Earth and receive critical updates, support, and guidance. You might even be able to use technology to remotely operate robotic systems, which could aid in tasks like maintenance, exploration, or rescue operations. Potential food sources on Mars would be limited, but there are several options you could consider. You might bring non-perishable food items with you from Earth, such as canned goods, dried fruits and nuts, or energy bars. Alternatively, you could try to grow your own food using hydroponics or aeroponics, which would require a reliable source of water and nutrients. In situ resource utilization, or ISRU, could also provide a means of producing food, such as by extracting water from the Martian soil and using it to support plant growth. In the long term, a sustainable food system would be essential to your survival, as resupply missions from Earth might be infrequent or unreliable. Communication with Earth would be a vital lifeline if you were stuck on Mars. You would need to establish a reliable means of communication, such as a satellite uplink or a high-gain antenna, to stay in touch with mission control and receive critical updates, support, and guidance. This would not only help you cope with the psychological effects of isolation but also provide a means of receiving assistance, such as software updates, technical support, or even emergency supplies. You might also use communication to send back valuable data and insights about the Martian environment, which could aid in the planning and execution of future missions. Let's imagine you're stranded on Mars with limited supplies and no clear rescue plan in sight. You have to make critical decisions to survive, such as rationing your food and water, managing your energy consumption, and prioritizing your activities. Every decision counts, as you weigh the risks and benefits of different courses of action. You might decide to focus on finding a reliable source of water, which would be essential for long-term survival. Alternatively, you could try to establish a stable food supply, perhaps by growing your own crops or hunting for local resources. As the days turn into weeks, the stakes become higher, and the pressure to make the right decisions grows. You start to feel the physical and mental strain of living on Mars, from the fatigue and stress of working in a hostile environment to the emotional toll of being isolated from the rest of humanity. You have to dig deep and find the strength and resilience to keep going, even when the situation seems hopeless. This might involve drawing on your training and experience, relying on your skills and knowledge to overcome the challenges you face. The most crucial moment of resource management or rescue attempts could come when you're forced to make a difficult choice, such as sacrificing one resource to gain another. For example, you might have to decide whether to use your limited water supply to grow food or to maintain your life support systems. This kind of decision would require careful consideration and a deep understanding of your situation, as well as the potential risks and benefits of different courses of action. You would need to weigh your options carefully, taking into account your short-term and long-term needs, and make a choice that would give you the best chance of survival. As you navigate the challenges of being stranded on Mars, you would have to stay focused on your goals and work towards them, even when the situation seems dire. This might involve setting small, achievable targets, such as fixing a piece of equipment or finding a new source of food. You would also need to stay adaptable, being prepared to adjust your plans and strategies as circumstances change. This could involve responding to unexpected events, such as a sudden dust storm or a system failure, or seizing new opportunities, such as the discovery of a valuable resource or a potential means of communication. In conclusion, being stranded on Mars would be an incredibly challenging experience, with numerous obstacles to overcome and limited resources to work with. You would need to be resourceful, resilient, and determined to survive, using your skills and knowledge to adapt to the Martian environment and make the most of the resources available to you. By understanding the key survival challenges and strategies, we can better appreciate the importance of preparation and planning for space exploration, as well as the need for continued research and development into the technologies and techniques that will help us thrive in hostile environments like Mars. If you were stuck on Mars, what do you think would be the most difficult part? The isolation, the lack of resources, or something else entirely? Let me know in the comments below, and be sure to check out my other videos on space exploration and survival, where I delve into the latest developments and discoveries in the field. Whether you're a seasoned space enthusiast or just curious about the wonders of the universe, I've got you covered, so be sure to like and subscribe for more content.